Dan Illman, Matt Bernier for Weekend Wrap, taking a look back at last Saturday's Grade 1 Starlet Stakes at 1.1 at Los Alamitos. Bob Baffert, fresh off the gigantic win in the Cash Call Futurity with the undefeated Mastery, had a big favorite in here, American Gal, the number 7 as they break from the gate. American Gal was the beaten favorite in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies when she had an ultra-wide, impossible trip. I'm sure Mike Smith's not going to do that again.
Well, in fairness to the connections, I don't know that anyone thought they were going to go 22-3 for the opening quarter. And at that point, you're probably thinking, if I try and clear, I've got no shot to stay the distance. And unfortunately now, he can't really slot over. She's hung wide again. I don't know that I want to say that's the reason she lost, but it certainly didn't help.
I think this is a key point in the race right here. The number 3 on the lead is Tapped. Tapped's going to bear out entering the backstretch, and that forces the 4 Mopetism, who I think was very comfortable tracking in the 2-path, to take this inside slot. American Gal, as Tapped is drifting out, is now forced into the 4-path, and the eventual winner, Abel Tasman's able to shoot the rail and save valuable ground.
I think it was a brilliant move from Talamo. Let's take it if it's given to us. We're going to move up, get into a good position. Unfortunately, Mike Smith, this is the hand he's been dealt. He's just going to have to roll with it. Mario aboard Mopetism. Look, I don't think they can complain where they are right now either. Sit in the pocket, and again, considering how fast they went, and look, they backed it down 24 seconds, second quarter. I think everyone has to be reasonably pleased with the exception of, obviously, American Gal.
American Gal, though, is continuing to chug along. She's making a 3-wide bid. She's lost a lot of ground. Mopetism is in behind. Abel Tasman, though, able to get to the outside when Mopetism was shuffled back just a bit. The rail opens up. Mopetism drops down. She's not going to be able to get through. American Gal's in full flight. She makes the lead. Watch Joe now angle over and get the lead change with Abel Tasman, and maybe that made the difference.
I think it did. You look at this filly, she just finally started kind of finding her best stride late at the end here. You see American Gal, she couldn't pop to her left lead, as is Abel Tasman. The interesting thing about Abel Tasman, you're going to see the ears go up immediately when
I
she
think
hits the
she
front.
just saw the front and said, what do I do now?
Exactly. She pops to the left lead, not going to hold that against her. The left lead for American Gal makes me think she's exhausted.
Fatigue, and she had every reason to be exhausted once again with another 4-path trip going 2 turns, and maybe 2 turns isn't her game anyway, but the jury's still out because it's been an impossibly wide journey in both of her 2-turn races. As for Abel Tasman, she's a really good-looking filly, a big filly that when you look at her, you're like, boy, she wants every bit of the 2 turns, maybe unlike American Gal. And the fact that she won at 7 last time out showed that there's some quality here. Now, she's still learning. As we see, her lead changes are a little bit green, but it's a 3-race win streak for a daughter of Quality Road.
Yeah, look, I think she's a pretty good filly. I don't know if she's a superstar just yet, and we'll find out as she turns 3. The campaign that's being mapped out for her, I despise it. I think it's horrible, particularly for a filly like this, who it looks like she still doesn't really know what she's doing. The tentative plan, it sounds like, is to wait for the Santa Anita Oaks.
Right.
That's a long way away.
And only one prep now into
for the Kentucky Oaks.
If that works
it just, for me, that seems like, boy, you are putting the utmost faith, and it's not questioning Simon Callahan's ability to have a horse ready. It's just, my goodness, you are putting all your eggs into the smallest basket possible, and you better be right, because guess what? If she has a bad trip, it's over. You're not going to the Kentucky Oaks. For me, I just really don't like that idea. But at the end of the day, this filly is very interesting. I like you say, she's built like a linebacker. She's going to go on with it all day. I just think she needs to learn.
84 Buyer speed figure for Abel Tasman, a $65,000 buyback as a Keeneland yearling. She is the 2nd graded stakes winner out of this Deputy Minister Mayor Vargas girl. A Sky Girl won the Grade 3 Dogwood at Churchill Downs. American Gal lost nothing in defeat. I think down the road she will be a 6.5, 7 furlong horse, and a pretty good win at that.
I like her. I got to be honest. Maybe I've just liked her 2 sprint races a little bit more than others have. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, I felt like she was favored by default. I mean, there's a reason she was 4-1, a very, very tepid favorite. Each of these 2-turn races, I'm not going to hold them against her, but at the same time, I don't think she is a 2-turn horse. I'm already wondering if you circle a race like the 8 Bells on Oaks Day or Derby Day, whichever day it is, 7 furlongs at Churchill Downs. I think that's probably what her game will be.
You tabbed Mopetism on top at 33-1 in your Los Alamitos analysis in DRF, and she ran a super race. I mean, she's still a maiden, but at the end of the day, I think if Mario had it back, he wouldn't have gotten, I wouldn't say suckered, and it was the right move to make. Once Tap drifted out on the backstretch, he saw the rail and he said, I'm going to go. And he probably thought, you know something, Tap's going to drift off the rail again, turning into the stretch, which gives me free rein. The problem is Tap did drift off the rail and then drifted right back in on top of Mopetism, and she lost her momentum twice on the stretch.
And the fact that she continued on, she rallied nicely, at the end. Maybe I'm just overrating her. I'm falling in love with a horse that at this point still hasn't beaten anyone. I thought I could make the argument that she ran just as well as the top two in this spot. Now, maybe she's not as good talent-wise, but I don't know that she isn't yet. I think there is a race for her. She's the kind of horse that I'm going to keep an eye on. I would imagine they're going to continue on graded stakes races. I don't think you go backwards to a maiden race when she ran as well as she did, and if you think the girls in Southern California are a little bit suspect.
Especially if you know that Abel Tasman's going to be sitting out.
The problem for her is her stablemate is the big girl, Shane's girlfriend. So Doug O'Neill's going to have to sort of navigate or map something out. I wonder if they probably end up thinking about the idea, and who knows what the fillies will look like in Louisiana. I wonder if they do the exact same thing they did last year.
They shipped over there. They won the Fairgrounds Oaks with Landover Sea. Maybe Mopetism's on the road. Another good daughter of Uncle Mo. What are we going to do with Union Strike? She won the Del Mar Debutante sprinting at 7. Then she had a little bit of an issue. So she came into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, I wouldn't say in the greatest form. She did not have a good trip in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. She didn't run particularly well here. Is it just simply, A, maybe the Del Mar Debutante wasn't a great race, and B, she's probably a late-running, mid-pack sprinter type?
There's a part of me that I don't know how good she actually is. Now, look, you can't take away that G1 from her.
Oh, no.
But at the same time, I mean, if you strike that race out of her PPs, what's she done? She hasn't really done much running. Even in her debut, she was beaten. She was a maiden when she won the Debutante. There's a part of me that is still going to sort of withhold my decision on what I think of her overall, because keep in mind, you go back and watch that debutante, she was all out for almost a half mile. It's not like it was the most visually fantastic race. I don't know how good she is.
Byrne didn't run very well, shipping in from New York for trainer Tommy Albertrani. It looked like she was in with a chance to at least crack the top 3 or 4 turning into the stretch, but there was no pop.
You wonder if this was a scenario and she was bet down to the second choice in the spot. You wonder if it was just because, well, Albertrani doesn't do this and she's the new face. Well, let's go on with her. I don't know what you do with her now, because she ran second in that race here in New York, and I believe it was the Tempted. We'll find out. I thought she should have done some running.
Abel Tasman, 84 Beyer speed figure for trainer Simon Callahan. She's now a Grade 1 winner. She takes the Starlet Stakes by a length over favorite American Gal. Now we have to be patient to see Abel Tasman again. It might not be until the Santa Anita Oaks.